for Tom Cruise. The film seems to have unprecedented universal appeal with nearly 50-50 revenue split domestically and internationally. Top Gun could be the summer movie savior that rescues some movie theater stocks. So earlier in the month, AMC jumped on the opening success of the movie. So could this be the summer where the box office hits brings back the resurgence in theaters? Thor is upcoming, obviously Elvis and Black Phone already in theaters and have some buzz. Say, Nicole, I think this could be it. I saw Top Gun in theaters, really enjoyed it. I'm going to see Black Phone because it looks really scary, and I love scary movies. What do you guys think? Is this going to be helpful for the resurgence of theaters, Zayd? What are your thoughts on this?
So, as we know, I've been anti-movie theaters for a while now. But I also saw Top Gun in theater, and it was amazing. Like, I was edge of my seat. I was like, this is incredible. You only want to experience a movie like this in theaters.
Aww.
So I think there's some movies out there that like are theater movies. Now, would I want to watch every movie in theater? No. But I think if there continues to be good like special effect movies like Top Gun and like good movies like Top Gun, that'll probably help theaters. But ultimately, like, we don't really get good movies all the time. You know, like most movies don't need to be watched in theaters. There's very few movies that are movie theater movies. But I will say, like, the experience of going to a movie theater, which I hadn't done in a long time, it was awesome. Just going there, like getting some popcorn, like the big screen and the audio, like it felt really good. And I was like, you know what, I kind of miss movie theaters.
Yeah, it's like the action movie vibe too, I think. And I think that the same goes for scary movies, which I personally don't like to watch in theaters because I'm too scared. I just end up like this the whole time, like covering my eyes. But anyways, I haven't seen the new Top Gun yet. I have only heard wonderful things. But
Stop
it definitely
the show.
seems like,
What
all
are
right,
we
moving
doing
forward.
here?
I'm not even qualified to be here. I haven't been to a movie theater in a minute. Okay, I've been traveling a bit. I've been doing things. So but I need to get my butt into a movie theater. See, I have always thought that movie theaters, especially post-pandemic, would only thrive if it purposefully creates an experience for users, for theater goers. So I think there'll be specialty cases like Top Gun where it has kind of all of the criteria. Zayd, I'd love to hear, what is your criteria for like a theater or a movie that's worth seeing in theaters? Is it like action, like the cult following, the big name actors, the whole thing? Then it actually has to be a good movie, right?
I don't really care about the big name actor stuff. I think it has to be like the action, right? Like the action, the audio, like that to me is awesome. So I saw Top Gun in theater, and then like the following week, my daughter wanted to see Lightyear. Not a movie theater movie. I wasted $50.
Sorry, honey.
Yeah, but like she wanted to see it. I wasted $50. I'm like, this is ridiculous. So, there's some movies that there are just made for movie theater experiences, and I think the action ones with like the awesome special effects and the audio and like there's just some stuff you could only enjoy on a big screen. Yes. And Pixar movies aren't it, but action movies like Top Gun are definitely it. I honestly almost went to go see Top Gun for a second time. That's how much I liked it. It was so good, man. It was so good.
Well, there you have it, kids. No cartoons in the big theaters, according to Zayd.
Exactly.
Moving on. An Austin-based seed stage venture capital firm called True Wealth announced the close of an oversubscribed $35 million fund that invests in companies improving human and environmental health with at least one woman at the founding or executive team. Here are some of the details. The second fund follows its first that closed in 2018 at $19 million and marked the largest VC fund ever raised with an explicit gender diversity strategy. More than 75% of the capital raised by True Wealth Ventures across its funds 1 and 2 are backed by 80% female LPs, and True Wealth Ventures is on a mission to transform the VC landscape by maximizing total investment dollars flowing to women-led companies. So why is this important? Why does it matter? Less than 2% of VC dollars goes to female founders. That's a wildly known stat. So when we lack female representation in the industry, it directly influences the quality and diversity of the industry products and whether it also is good or harmful and able to cater to a more diverse demographic of users. So True Wealth has made investments in companies like Flourish, which helps women get healthy for good by teaching women to build sustainable habits across full spectrum of behavioral wealth like nutrition, hydration, sleep, stress, movement. So that's the kind of companies it's investing in. And it's just at a time like this in this current environment, news like this is definitely needed.
Yeah, Nicole, news like this is definitely needed, especially at this time, as you mentioned. I remember we did a story on Katie Huan and her big raise as a VC, as a woman VC. And I was kind of bearish in the sense of that it wouldn't lead to more of these stories. But now that, one, I obviously saw the stats show that we're still lacking in that area as far as like funding, women investors. But it's the least we can do is actually highlight these good stories, like with True Wealth and different things. I think we actually have to highlight them because at least that would hopefully spur more of these stories coming out, inspire more people to try to raise their own funds, to be investing. As you mentioned, it'll definitely change the landscape of the products that are being funded and backed, especially with this investment strategy that True Wealth has. So this is actually a really, really important story.
Yeah, especially in this environment, right? Everyone's talking about how like money's tight and things like that, but the fact that they're able to raise in this environment, and yeah, hopefully the stories like this compound on itself, and we get more stories about more women-backed venture capital and more funding for women-backed venture companies. So I love to see it. Katie Huan was starting it off a few months ago, and we're seeing more stories like this. So hopefully more good things to come.
Yes.
Agreed.
Speaking of a hedge fund that isn't doing so hot, Three Arrows Capital. So a giant crypto hedge fund, Three Arrows Capital, has been in the headlines a bit because they defaulted on a loan. And the crypto world, the crypto world's been kind of having a rough time. They've had a rough summer, guys. No worse than Three Arrows Capital. This hedge fund, it's a crypto-centric hedge fund. I think they were only doing crypto-related investments. At one point had over $10 billion in management. So the way that works is just like any other hedge fund, where people give them money, they invest that money, and they return the and they give the returns back to their investors. Well, they made some really bad trades earlier this year, like Luna, the famous Luna crash. They put like more than $500 million in Luna, and at this point, it's worthless. And they also made some other bad investments in staked ETH, and Ethereum prices are going down. And instead of just kind of like taking their L's, they decided to double down and try to get some of that money back by making bigger and more riskier investments, by taking out some loans from places like Celsius, not Celsius, but BlockFi, Voyager, and other crypto lending platforms. So they borrowed money, and they lost that money too, and they've defaulted on this $670 million loan to one of their lenders. And the founders have just kind of ghosted everybody. The founders, Zhu Su and Kyle Davies, these guys used to be like big time on Twitter, tweeting all the time and all that good stuff. Now they're just kind of MIA. No one knows where they are. They deleted their Instagram, which is the first sign of trouble. And they haven't tweeted in weeks. No one knows where they are. So I don't know, like this is just kind of another story of like crypto really having a tough go at it. It's like one crypto company lending money to another crypto company, that crypto company making risky investments, losing that money. So like the first crypto company now can't pay back their investors. And like this whole thing just seems like it's built on a house of cards. And I think the big fear right now is it's going to lead to contagion, where like one firm collapsing will result in another firm collapsing. And hopefully that doesn't happen, because that might really hurt like the trust that people have in crypto. But that's the fear right now, and it's just not a good look. So still following the story closely. The company that's owed the money, Voyager, is going to try to get their money back from from Three Arrows Capital. I don't know how, because Three Arrows Capital was based out of Singapore, and I don't really know what the legal ramifications are. I don't know if you guys know anything about that, but that's kind of where we are right now.
Oof. Sounds like a mess.
Yeah, I think one of the things that stuck out to me is from reportedly, we can speculate a little bit, they were reportedly heavily leveraged. And as you mentioned, they were borrowing a lot, they were heavily leveraged in a lot of their trades. So, people going a little bit riskier, especially with other people's funds, way more than a little bit. They were way, over leveraged. That is something that is not singular to just the crypto industry. Obviously, there's restraints in the equities market. I think those restraints will start to trickle over to the crypto market. So that's something that could possibly be helped. Otherwise, this is obviously a sad situation and a bad situation for the investors. But it seems like it'd be like a lack of risk control on the 3AC's part, if just from looking at it from the outside.
Yeah, they're taking an already really, really risky asset like crypto, putting gasoline on it by taking leverage. And yeah, if it works out, you're going to be insanely rich. And if it doesn't work out, you're going to fail, a catastrophic failure like we're having right now.
Yeah.
So not a good look.
It's like a very extreme instance of what folks have feared about crypto, it seems. So, I don't know.
It just reminds me of like the financial crisis back in 08, where like all these banks were leveraged and doing all these risky bets. Yeah. Now it's happening in the crypto space. And I think this is kind of like their 08 moment where like things are collapsing. There's just a liquidity crunch. People are scared and probably losing some trust. And so we'll see what happens and how this all shakes out. But that's what it kind of reminds me of.
Well, we will have to see how it shakes out. Until then, that's it for today's show, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. We will see you tomorrow.
We out. Hey, thanks for watching, everybody. Be sure to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and be sure to tune in tomorrow.